Hey, welcome back. This is week 3 of the Tour of the Office Tuesday. And if you're thinking, hey, you're wearing the same thing that you wore last week. Well, it is last week. You're in a time paradox because I recorded 2 videos. I'm just getting back in the future. My future self is getting back from the General Assembly of our denomination. I will travel to Portland, Oregon in support of Jan Edmiston, who is running for co-moderator of our denomination. And I thought I would do this video so that we have something to show you next week. So I wanted to show you something that it was a gift from my sister-in-law, who has an Etsy page called Homespun at Home. It's a string art company, and she made for me on my seminary graduation, she made for me this nice Presbyterian church string art that I have in my office. It's beautiful. It's really interesting, and people always notice it because string art's really cool. This is a really cool thing. So my sister-in-law Catherine made this for me, and you could check one out yourself at Homespun at Home on Etsy. And she has actually this image for sale right now, so you could get it yourself. But I thought I would present this as because I'll just be coming back from our denominational gathering, a denominational gathering that happens every 2 years, the place at which we talk about how to do church. We talk about our constitution, our denominational constitution, and just how to be better witnesses of Christ in the world, given the scary and complicated context that we're in. I'm glad to be a part of a denomination, the Presbyterian Church, that considers critically how to do church. We come together we have delegates from all over the country who come together and who talk and who at times argue and at times hug, because we're Presbyterian. Side hugs only. But we deeply consider what it means to be witnesses of Christ, people who are intent on doing church in the context in which we live. And I'm grateful for a denomination that does that. It's difficult. It's difficult work to always consider and be open to change, and be open to progress, and be open to the Spirit of God moving in our midst. But I'm happy that I'm a part of this. So I went to General Assembly, or I'm going to General Assembly, depending on which, if you're watching this right now, which you shouldn't, or if you're watching it next week. But I'm going to go to General Assembly in support of my wife's cousin, who is running for co-moderator. How's it going? So we are walking towards the stage. Jan and Denise were elected moderator of the 222nd General Assembly. And I just think that it's awesome to be a part of a community of faith, a wider community of faith, that is so intent on doing church the best way that we can. It's we say that we're reformed and always reforming, and that's a difficult thing. It's difficult to say that that maybe we have to change, and we have to welcome people in our community that haven't felt part of the community. That's difficult, and I'm just glad to be a part of a faith that that allows for that sort of conversation to happen. And that's the kind of conversation that we have here at UKirk. We are never settled on how to do church and how to do ministry here. We're always open to change and open to student life and doing campus ministry that makes the most sense to be witnesses of Christ here on this campus at this time. So if you want to come by and talk to me about the merits of denominational life in the Presbyterian Church USA, or if you just want to take a look at this cool piece of string art, or you can buy one yourself at Homespun at Home on Etsy, come by my office and we can have a conversation. I'll see you next week.
I think a lot of it is that we have, I think, a fair diversity of different kinds of people. We try to be more open and welcoming rather than trying to define who we're not. And I just, there's something about that feels right for me a little bit. I love this denomination because for us, the 2 top priorities, or the 2 main central points of focus, are grace and gratitude. We believe that grace is what we're saved by, and we believe that there's nothing we can do to earn that, and that's really important to me because I recognize how much I need that grace. And we recognize that the only correct or reasonable response to that grace is gratitude, and that's how we live our lives. So I just really appreciate that about Presbyterianism.